I got what's called wheelchair wasted.
Wheelchair wasted?
Wheelchair wasted.
I've never heard that term. I've heard white boy wasted. Never wheelchair wasted, dude.
I mean, and got wheelchaired back up to my room.
Now, if you could think of like what your face probably looked like, show the camera that night.
Huh?
When you were wheelchair wasted, what'd your face look like? Put the mic down so they can see your face.
Hey.
That's the thumbnail. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith. I'm uptown, I'm the one they wanna shop with. Run off with the bag, even though we don't shoplift. All that gun talk y'all want, I'm not with. It's not cool, everybody got them long clips. You gon' mess around and get one of your dogs hit. And when you do, I hope you know you're not John Wick.
What up? Welcome back. Appreciate you locking in with us. I'm Atwood. Killer to my left here. As always, DK. Going to be a quick one today. We're just going to recap UFC 314 this past weekend. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we got going on this weekend. So, your favorite fights from this past weekend? I mean, there's a bunch of good ones.
There's some good ones. You know, I love grappling exchange. You know, the Chase Hooper, Jim Miller fight.
Yeah.
Big grappling exchange there. With Chase Hooper hitting like some killer like.
That kid's an anomaly.
Dude doesn't look very scary, right?
No, he doesn't. Not at all.
He doesn't look very
Not at
scary.
all. He just looks like a guy that
a kid with an afro. A little bit of an afro, you know what I'm
well,
saying?
I mean, he looks like Ben Askren's son.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that thing he did with Jorge Masvidal? After Jorge, like, KO'd Ben, like, Chase walked up to him. He's like, hey, why'd you do that to my dad? He's like, who's your dad?
I think I say
like Ben Askren. He goes, shit, I'm sorry, man. But no, like, that was a cool thing to I think a lot of the casual fans, right, the people who just want to see striking and knockouts, they probably hated that fight. Although they threw some hands. And Chase has improved a lot.
I was showing him, we were going through a lot of different transitions of what's going on in the fight and everything.
Yeah.
There we go. And so, it's wild, man. It's, the fight game is a wild animal, you know? I mean, just like it's hard to keep it controlled. It's hard to kill it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like hard to, it's wild. It's like I just said. And, a lot of times, you get in these grappling battles and there's not a lot of strikes being thrown because you can't. Really
right.
it. You're like defending, you know, and
especially against two black belts, right?
Black
like
belts,
you give them an arm and who knows?
Yeah. So, and Jim Miller's no slouch, dude. Like the guy grapples, like, his he used to be the man at the guillotine.
Yeah. Well, he went for a guillotine a couple times and he almost had it. Like, so I told you, I bet for the first time sports betting, like online or whatever on this, and I bet on Jim Miller to beat Chase just because of the odds, one. But two, it's like Chase isn't known for having hands, and I was like, well, maybe Jim will starch him. Yeah. But obviously it didn't go my way. But
man, you went what?
0 for 2.
0 for 2. Who else you bet on too?
I bet on Julian Erosa to sub Darren Elkins, and he knocked him out in the first round instead.
Gosh, man, let's talk about that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, there eventually has to be somebody in Darren Elkins' ear and be like, hey, man, no more.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is, though, he's at Team Alpha Male. Yeah. Or he used to be. I think he still is. And Uriah is never going to say that. I mean, Uriah's still fighting. How old is Uriah?
Yeah. What is he fighting?
He was supposed to fight in GFL.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's older than me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Darren's your age.
Yeah.
And they call him the Damage. Like, that's a dumb tattoo he has, but that's all it takes.
Like, it's giving me a headache watching him get it.
It's like, a little cringy.
I have a headache, right? It is cringy, man. And the UFC needs to, like, don't book the kid any more fights, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously, like, I get it, man. You've made a career on the Damage, but, dude, the time's up.
Yeah.
Like, we're watching you get killed.
Dude, when your nickname is the Damage, how long have you been taking punishment?
Man, and then, like, we got to think 10 years from now, bud.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we talked about Nam Fan.
Yeah.
Right. If you guys don't know who that is,
man.
he's a guy, Vietnamese fighter, was on the Ultimate Fighter. Lots of fights, man. And
brawls.
now, now he doesn't, his speech is slurred.
Horribly. People think the Diaz brothers are bad. Like, Nam is horrible.
It's pretty bad, man.
Is it Nam or Nam?
NAM, whatever.
Yeah.
Nam fan.
Yeah, Nam fan.
It's PHAN, Nam fan. And, I mean, listen, the guy's done it all. He's been there, done that. But it's like, gosh, man, I think about the damage I took. I got knocked out a few times, man, and took some hard shots at the beginning of my career too. Like, because I didn't really have greatest striking, and I try to get people to the ground, and if we're on the ground and boom, I'm getting punched while I'm trying to tap you and get to you, and
yeah.
So, man, it's just that brain is just sloshing around in there,
Yeah.
So I try to do things now to like increase, the nootropics that I take now. I take Alpha Brain Black Label. If I take Alpha Brain, I obviously didn't take it this morning. If I take it, I usually take it before classes, before I teach, and then I also like an hour or two before I teach. Or if I have a private lesson, I'll take like 2. You can take like 4 or 6 a day. There's only like 25 milligrams caffeine in a total thing, so it's not like getting hyped up on caffeine. But man, it just makes me put my thoughts and stuff together. And I'm not sponsored by On It.
Yeah.
I was a long time ago, like back in, what was that? It was my first fight out of Bellator, or
I didn't know it's been around that long.
Yeah, man. This is over 11, 12 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was taking Shroom Tech and Alpha Brain back then, and
I take ashwagandha now.
So I still take Shroom Tech. I haven't taken it in a while, actually. But Shroom Tech is really good pre-workout and stuff. It doesn't have a whole lot of caffeine in it, and it helps you like hit a second and third gear, man. I'm a big fan of it. And Alpha Brain just helps me connect the dots.
Yeah, I'm not like one of those dudes that can swallow those big horse pills. I can't do it.
Oh, they're not horse pills.
It is to me.
Gel caps. They're like,
but they're like that big. That big. I can't do it, bro. I tried doing the Alpha Brain stuff, and like I looked at it, I was like, oh no, it ain't gonna work. So what I did is I just took the capsule and I poured it in my mouth.
So they got instant ones now.
Oh really?
You put it in your drink.
Oh, okay, because I can try that, because the capsule thing.
It's crazy, dude.
Oh, it tastes so bad. Like I used to just throw it in my mouth and just water real quick, but it's horrible. It's horrible.
So I take tons of pills a day.
Not me.
So I take Heart and Soil supplements. They make desiccated liver supplements and kidneys and spleen and all these things. So I take the GSP Warrior stack. So I got the GSP Warrior stuff, and then I have the whole package. It's like a men's, it has testicles in it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, cow. Yeah, desiccated cow testicles and everything. Yeah.
Dang, man.
And it's supposed to help with the whole package, meaning for a male.
Yeah.
They make her package, which is supposed to help with female stuff. But anyways, I take that, and then I take it's called Mood and Brain. It's like helps with your brain, I guess. But it's 6 pills per bottle.
Wait, per bottle?
Per bottle.
So what is it? A week? A bottle's a week?
So I go. It's 100. I have like a ton of pills, so I have a whole month supply, but it's 6 pills a day.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Per bottle.
Gotcha.
So that's like what? So that's 18 pills. That, and then I take.
So the first hour of your morning just consists of.
Yeah, well, I haven't done anything this morning. Usually I take it around the mid-afternoon, because I'm good in the morning for a little bit. So about mid-afternoon, because I need to be at my prime.
Yeah.
Mid-afternoon, because I'm working. That's when I'm working. The mornings is, this is kind of easy. I got to go take my son to the doctor this morning. So it's like, I'm not like trying to get too crazy.
Yeah.
Even though my wife thinks I'm an idiot because I forget everything now. It's like in the morning, I'm just like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
She's telling me stuff. But anyways, man, we're
starting to happen to me too.
Yeah. But anyways, man, I forget where we were at. We were talking about
yeah. We were talking about Darren Elkins.
His brain.
Yeah, needing to probably call it quit. I mean, the guy's also he's 40 years old. He's taking a beating. It's just that time, you know. Another great fight on the card. Obviously, the Volk and Diego Lopez fight was a good scrap.
Good scrap.
People were out there saying they thought that Volk lost. And they're like, look at his face. And it's like, okay, I get. They're like, damage is number one. I get it, but like he was winning. I mean, he was winning the exchanges. Yeah, exactly.
He lost one round. Yeah. He lost one, maybe 2 rounds.
Yeah, out of a 5-round fight. So I think Volk was a pretty clear winner for that fight. I'm drawing a blank. What was the co-main? Oh, Patty and Michael Chandler.
Yes.
Good scrap like we thought it was going to be. Chandler is another person that if one day he could be in Darren Elkins' spot if he continues. Like, I still think he's got some left in the tank, don't get me wrong. And, yeah, he's a great fighter, but he just takes damage, dude.
So here's the thing about Michael Chandler, and we talked about this a little bit.
I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah, maybe. Last week. It's just like he just can't compete at the extreme top level.
Well, I don't know, though, man. Like, because maybe, he almost knocked out Charles.
So maybe 5 years ago, let's say 5-6 years ago, when he was Bellator champ, I think, whenever he was the Bellator champ, if that was him in the UFC, we might have a different story.
Yeah.
But now he went through the cream. Like, he's fought the best that the UFC.
The best of the since his first fight was Dave Hooker.
Maybe not the best guys in the UFC, but he's fought. But
he has. At least in his weight class for sure.
And he's lost most of them.
Yeah, and he's fought like future like Hall of Famers too. Like the only ones he fought that weren't Hall of Famers. I don't know if they'll ever make Tony a Hall of Famer. And Dan Hooker. Yeah. Besides that, everybody he's fought is a Hall of Famer.
Man, he's just like a one-trick pony with me. He was just with the he doesn't have any jiu-jitsu.
No.
It's obvious.
Was he a college wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Definitely is.
I want to say he's All-American. I don't think he was a national
And look
champ.
what, I mean, there you go. Like, well, I'm not going to say this is always what's going to happen, but in this situation, it was jiu-jitsu versus wrestling with Patty because Patty's a jiu-jitsu guy. And it was a good fight, but you know, Patty gets you down, and Patty does what he does.
Yeah, man.
Which is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, when he had his back there, I thought he was going to choke him.
Yeah, me too. But you know, I think we both called Patty winning that one by.
Yeah. What's next for Patty? I think.
Well, that's a fun discussion because there's so many. So many. I mean, he's got the top 5, right? Well, whoever doesn't have a fight. I mean, I know he wants that Arman fight. He called out Charles. He even called out Conor, dude. He called out everybody, which when you're in that position, I think you're dumb if you don't, you know?
Well, whoever who wants it and you can make the most money. If you like, hey, fight this dude for this month, but whatever's in his contract, that's probably what he's going to get paid either way, you know what I'm saying? Yep. So he'll probably get a bonus or something.
He might be up for renegotiation.
Conor's not going to be fighting, bro.
No, and he's not coming back. I don't think Conor can make 155 again, honestly.
No. And he can't pass drug tests.
True.
There's that.
True. Shoot, I had one thing that I thought of when we were talking about that, but I already forgot about that. This weekend, Jay and some of the guys are going to Kentucky. He's got a boxing bout for Roy Jones Jr.'s promotion.
Yep. In Louisville, Kentucky.
In Louisville.
Yep.
That's a long drive. He's fighting a guy. Is the guy Jay? Is your guy undefeated?
4-0.
All right, it's 4-0.
4-0 pro, 5-5 amateur though, which is kind
of. He said he's undefeated until this weekend.
Yeah, baby. So. Yep, Roy Jones Jr.'s Fight Promotions.
Later.
And
have a good trip.
All right, he says size 10 in that guy's
ass. Later, dog.
In there. Later. But yeah, fighting in Roy Jones Jr.'s promotion, Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Birthplace of.
Hold on. Fried chicken.
Ali.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm sure that's
I said fried chicken.
But they also have I think they have an Ali museum there.
Well, that's pretty cool. I thought it was cool just to be fighting on Roy Jones Jr.'s promotion because he's probably going to be there, you know?
Oh, 100%.
And then you get to talk to the legend himself. Dang, what was that I wanted to bring up? I cannot remember. Let's just say you were.
Birthplace. Yep.
That's where he was born. Let's just say you were in a coaching position, right? And you had a fighter like a Darren Elkins, right? When in your head you're kind of thinking it, but you haven't like said it. Do you have the discussion with him? Like, and how do you go about having that discussion? Because that seems like to certain people, depending on their personality type, that discussion could like go left.
I go, man. I'm like, hey, man, what are we thinking now?
Like, what are we fighting for? Kind of
exactly. What are we fighting for now, bud? I know you need, maybe you need money, but let's figure out something else, dude. Let's get you a job somewhere. Let's see if you can coach wrestling. Let's see if you can coach something.
Maybe privates,
private lessons or something like that. But it's like, gosh, man.
Yeah.
And see, here's what people need to see from this too. Listen, I don't know Darren Elkins as a person. I don't know his but he's not teaching striking. We both know that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. He's not teaching striking.
Yeah, he's a wrestler.
But it's like, you don't really bring a whole lot to the table, my man. With as far as being a coach, But who knows? Maybe he is a good coach, right? Maybe he is a really good coach and he explained things well. See, I don't know, But we have to think. All right, when I'm done fighting, this is just like in the military, guy.
Yeah.
Guys that are just so.
You gotta think what comes after.
What's coming after, man? You're done with this, and you've been doing this, and this is like I've been focused on fighting. When I get out, well, fighting's over. What is my skill set now? Mm-hmm. What is my skill set now?
Because I think a lot of these fighters might think of themselves kind of like, well, if I'm not, let's just say we'll use Conor, right? Like if I'm not Conor McGregor, if I'm not the champion and beating people's ass, then who am I? Mm-hmm. I think people kind of get lost in that identity, and then it kind of like Ronda Rousey, great example. She loses the belt that she's had, and she's no longer undefeated, and now she's in the locker room thinking like really dark thoughts. And she's like, well, if I'm not this champion, then who am I? Like, who is Ronda Rousey?
Yeah. And now she's a cowgirl.
Yeah. And a mom. Well, she went to the WWE and did her thing over there too.
Yeah, made a lot of money there, and dude, they own a farm.
Yeah,
she's Travis. They own
Travis
a farm.
Brown, right?
Yeah. And they have
who's a heavyweight fighter, by the way.
Was. And crazy how things they have a farm, like a holistic, like a regenerative farm. Mm-hmm. They go to fucking what's it, farmers markets
and stuff.
Sell shit.
So going back to the Darren Elkins thing reminded me of something I wanted to ask you, and I had this talk with Jay last night. He was saying that there's some people he believes that aren't fighting for the right reasons, right? And I was like, all right, so what is the right reason? He's like, oh, well, to be champion, to be the best. I was like, okay. I was like, so does that make somebody wrong if they are fighting for money? Because everybody's got their different reasons for doing different things, right? And I think there's not one fighter, professional fighter, there can't be in the world that is at least fighting like on a decent level that is like, I don't care at all about the money. Like, why else would you do it? You know what I mean? Like, why would you put yourself in a position to possibly die or to end up with CTE one day if you weren't in it trying to get paid?
The money is the what do they call it when you're? What are the things called? Sirens or whatever that
call you into the water?
Yeah,
sirens
or whatever. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what money is.
Oh, That's a good analogy. So you're on the boat.
So it's on the boat and it's going to the rocks, man.
Yeah, and well, the whole thing, the whole mythology behind the sirens, they try to lure you in the water to take you down and drown you.
Yeah.
So you're saying like that's the money in the analogy.
Yep. That's it, man. So you're like, no, man, I'm not trying.
And the destination is the belt.
Right, yeah.
And
yes.
That was pretty good.
And little money's coming, like you get big offers, but it might be too early in your career.
Yeah.
And so you get this big money offer against something,
That's a good analogy. And, you said too early in the career. That's something Patty did as well. He could have signed with the UFC years before he did. He's like, no, I'm not ready. Yeah. Which is a sign of maturity.
But dude, I wasn't ready for Bellator, but obviously I thought I was, and then that was the only thing it wasn't the money that coaxed me in there.
Yeah, but also with something like that, you don't know when that's coming back around, so you have to take it.
Exactly.
You have to.
Yeah, you had to jump into Bellator.
Because if you lose one fight.
So I'll give you an example I got a fight offer. Remember Strikeforce we talked about this, I think. I was stationed in Alabama. I got a fight offer to fight for Strikeforce against a guy that was 6-0. I was 6-2, but I was training in Alabama, in Montgomery. I didn't really have any solid training partners. I would have to drive them, and so I got an offer to fight this dude in Texas for Strikeforce, and I turned it down because I didn't feel like I was where I needed to be, and so that set me up though. Me talking to that person on the phone, he was a manager for this management company team, and they had Jim Miller was on their team, Dan Miller, all these guys, and he was like, hey, if you want to be on our team or whatever, if you want us to manage you, you can train at with Jim and Dan and all those up there in Jersey for free. For free. And I'm like, shoot. All right. Well, it was like a month later. I was in the car driving from Alabama all the way to New Jersey to go live in a hotel and train for a week to train with Jim Miller this was when Jim was the man.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, he was crushing everybody, dude. I think he had a fight. He was going to fight Ben Henderson then, and I think, Charlie Brenneman was up there and dudes would roll in there on Sundays as well, man, like from this place called K Dojo. And K Dojo back in the I'm pretty sure, could be slightly wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure they had Khabib coming in. They brought Khabib over there first, and then he's trained at K Dojo because, man, on Sundays we'd have pro training at 1 p.m. And that's when all the Russian and Dagestanese dudes show up, man. And, you're talking about, it was a mat space bigger than this. So think about this mat space and that mat space combined, and it was full of people. Amanda Nunez was there.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It was you sparring, and it was really cool. So that was something that I got to do, from that instance, from that offer, but I didn't take it. I kept continuing the prize forward,
right,
to get better.
Yeah, that's got to be such a tricky thing to navigate too, man, because you just don't know when the opportunity could come back. Yeah,
you want it so bad.
And if you happen to lose one loss, dude, like they can be like, you know what I mean? So
I lost twice. Yeah, with me and Bellator, it's like I was training, but I think, Bellator helped me grow up a little bit, helped me see things. I was like, man, this person paid me $900 to wear this shirt. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and especially coming from like a regional circuit or whatever up to something like that, it's like you would just.
I never had a sponsor before that, bro. I never had made any. I made Ranger Up gave me $100 to wear their T-shirt once.
I bet that was like you're like, oh, sweet.
And I was like, cool. I was 5-2. I fought a Bellator vet. Got 6'2", but dude, I was so happy after the fight. I was like, yeah, I was bleeding, no shirt on.
No shirt you didn't even put the shirt on.
Didn't even put the shirt on.
Did you wear it out at least?
And the guy, Kelly Krieger, who was the owner of Ranger Up at the time, and we were talking over email, and he's like, dude, he was like, I saw your pictures. He was like, you didn't wear a shirt. He was like, the understanding's here. But he still gave me $100, but yeah, he wasn't too happy. He wasn't too stoked.
Dang. Well, that's the one thing about sponsors, man. Yeah. Sometimes you have to bend over backwards to please them because they are giving you money.
Yeah.
And
then fast forward, my first fight in Bellator, Future Legend, his clothing company by Paul Malignaggi.
Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi. Yeah.
Him and this other.
He fought Connor.
Him and this other dude. They were in together with out of Coney Island, and it's called Future Legend. And man, dude, I fought. So I was getting ready to fight Marcin Held. I was supposed to be the third or fourth fight on the card, maybe the sixth. But they come in the back and they're like, "Hey, you're on the main card. Your second fight on the main card." I'm like, "It's on TV, And I was like, "Oh, what?" They moved me to the big giant dressing room, with all the champs and stuff. Marlon Sandros was in there. Different people, guys, big name guys, man. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be, dude.
Yeah.
This is it right here. And it was just a surreal moment. And because my fight got bumped up, they were supposed to pay me $600 to wear a shirt because I was on the main card. At the end of the night, I talked to him. He was at the fight, and he gave me $900 cash, dude.
Nice. Nice.
Not really sure what happened to 300 of it that night. I don't know what happened to it. I woke up the next morning, and I was like, I'm missing $300.
Yeah, well, that was your tab.
Here's what I did. So I went. I got the 900. I went to my hotel room. I took 600, stuffed it in my bag, and kind of hid it.
Yep, good thing.
And then had the 300 on me, and we went out partying, man. And I got what's called wheelchair wasted.
Wheelchair wasted?
Wheelchair wasted.
I've never heard that term. I've heard white boy wasted. Never wheelchair wasted, dude.
Good friend of mine, Fred Acera, who fought. What weekend was that? A couple weeks ago.
Who?
Fernando Acera fought a couple weeks ago for Conflict. Same night as Jackson, but he was the main event. Anyways, he was there, and he was coming to my fight and everything. And so we went out.
Big dude. Okay, yeah.
We went out afterwards, and I couldn't walk.
Dang.
Because I hadn't drank in like 12 weeks.
And it had nothing to do with the fight. It was all alcohol?
All alcohol, man.
Dang, dude.
Dude, because I was in the VIP section with the Bellator crew, and they were just like Jimmy Smith Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was in there. And
he was a commentator, right?
Yeah. Him and Sean Wheelock.
Mm. Yep. Dang, man.
Days.
I can't say I've ever been wheelchair wasted.
That was intense, man. And I forgot. I didn't know where my key was. I couldn't find my key. So security, my friends, everybody, they're wheeling me. I had to wheel me to the front. I had to pull out all my stuff, and give it to the thing so I can get a new key. And got wheelchaired back up to my room.
Now, if you could think of like what your face probably looked like, show the camera that night. When you were wheelchair wasted, what'd your face look like? Put the mic down so they can see your face.
Hey.
That's the thumbnail. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, I'm going to name this episode Wheelchair Wasted. I need him to give me a thumbnail. Dude. So thank you for that.
So fast forward, I fight in Bellator again. Mm-hmm. Same thing happened. Again.
Wheelchair wasted?
2 times in a row.
But you that's when you lost to Felipe?
Yeah. So I could walk. Everything. It wasn't because I was injured. Mm-hmm. It's because I couldn't function.
I can't imagine what you're. I don't know if I've even ever seen you drunk, man.
Were you at that pool party? You were at the pool party.
You were drunk then?
Oh yeah.
You didn't seem drunk. Well, you weren't wheelchair wasted.
Well, what were we drinking? White Claws?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
White Claws.
LaCroix and vodka or whatever it was.
I wasn't doing that. But that's what he was rapping about. Anyway, yeah. Wild times, man. Crazy, dude.
Wheelchair wasted.
Yeah, it was good, man. That was in Atlantic City, dude. We were in Caesar's Palace and Bolly's. So we were at Club Dusk. And I remember coming out of dusk because it's like dark in there, bro. And you come out, and it's like the bright lights of the casino and Caesars in Atlantic City, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta throw up. It's like immediate, dude. And I just puked in the floor. Right there, man.
I had one of those
maybe
moments
I
one time.
might have ran to the back trash can. I don't remember something like. But anyways, right, my friends are like trying to hold me up, and Fred was there again, and we got another wheelchair.
Man, well.
Not anything to brag about. Don't be that way.
Yeah, don't be that way. Don't be this way either, because I got a little story before we get out of here. So you remember the After Deck back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
All right, it did a lot of foam parties and
Me
stuff
too.
there.
I went there when I was 16, bro. Foam party.
Really? They had them?
16, man.
Wow, I didn't realize they did them, I mean, no offense, but that long ago.
Dude, they were going on like in the 90s, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That was in the 90s. That was like 97.
Dang. I know that it was attached to a strip club.
Which is crazy. 97,
Yeah.
dude.
I was 7 years old, dude. I was 7 years old, and this guy's going to foam parties at the After Deck.
Man, Brad, did you ever do foam parties at the After Deck, man? Man, those were the days, bro. Those were, where Soho is now in North Myrtle? You know where Soho in North Myrtle is? So that used to be the After Deck. They used to have the After Deck, right? Man,
oh, yeah, crazy times.
Dude.
Crazy times.
I was like 97. I was like 16, 17 years old. Got a girl on my shoulders dancing at this foam party. Yeah, bro. Good time.
So me and my friend were there one night, and we went up to the bar. I wasn't old enough to drink. He was. And he's like, what do you want? And I was like, I don't know. Just get like a pitcher of Long Island iced tea. and he's like, dude, you realize how much this is going to cost? I'm like, I got money. He's like, all right. So he goes up there, and he's like, I want a pitcher of Long Island iced tea. Dude, she must have been new. She charged him like $8. So he came back with a pitcher of this, and we drank it. And then he goes back for another and another and another. So we ended up having like 4 of them between me, him, and like one other person. Mm-hmm. I got so wasted. I didn't black out, but before I got to the point where I'm like, all right, we need to leave, it was a foam party. And I'm dancing like with this chick, and I'm like, oh no, like bubble guts just hit me, right? So I turned her around like, and I faced the stage, and I just like puked all underneath the suds. Yes. And yes. People walk around there barefoot. Yeah, man. Not me, I could never. But
I was thinking you're about to shit. Take a shit right on the dance floor. Right, you imagine?
No, but I threw up, man, and I feel bad because I know somebody had to walk. And of course, as soon as I do it, I move from that area. But yeah, somebody stepped all in my puke that night, barefoot. Crazy story though.
Crazy stories, dude. Please.
But yeah, don't get wheelchair wasted.
Don't get wheelchair wasted.
Not a good look. But yeah, let's get. I know you got to take Bodie. I got to go to work.
Yeah, son. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate you guys' support. Man, thank you so much. We've been doing this so long, man. It's every week, man. We're at it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think he said that there was a streaming link for the fight this weekend for Jay's fight.
We'll try to link something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know the name of the promotion, but I'm sure.
Jones Jr. promotion.
I think. All right, so I would just type that in, and I'm sure there will be a link come up if you want to see Jay fight this weekend. It's a boxing match, so it's always fun to watch him box. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Until next time.
Out.